All right, let's get right into it. Today's mission is simple, to give you the ultimate focus briefing you need to conquer the Google Cloud Professional DevOps Engineer certification. Let's get started. First things first, I want you to reframe how you're thinking about this. This isn't just a test. Think of it as the final exciting mission in your cloud journey. You've done the hard work, and this is the home stretch. Let's make sure you're ready for it. So, here's our game plan. We'll start with the rules of engagement. What the exam actually looks like. Then we'll dive into the core skills, building, deploying, monitoring, and really mastering that SRE mindset. And we'll wrap it all up with a final exam day strategy to pull it all together. So let's talk about the quest itself. Passing this exam isn't really about memorizing a bunch of random facts. It's about learning to think in a specific way. And our goal today is to arm you with the key strategies to do exactly that. Any good strategist knows the terrain before the battle begins. So first up, let's break down the exam itself. Honestly, knowing what to expect is half the fight. You're going to be facing 50 questions. And these aren't simple trivia questions, no. Almost all of them are scenario-based. They'll give you a situation like a company wants to do X, which solution is the best fit? The whole key is applying your knowledge to solve these real-world problems. You've got 2 hours on the clock. That breaks down to about 2 minutes and 24 seconds for each question. So managing your time is absolutely crucial. If you get stuck on a tough one, don't sweat it. Just flag it and move on. You can always come back to it at the end. Okay, now this is where you really want to pay attention. Look at the weighting here. A massive 46% of the exam, that's almost half, is focused on CI/CD pipelines and site reliability engineering. This chart tells you exactly where to concentrate your firepower. All right, let's dive into our first core skill phase, building and deploying. This is all about how you create really solid infrastructure and automated pipelines, the Google Cloud way. Now, this is a super common point of confusion. Org policies versus IAM. Let's make it really simple. Organization policies control the what, as in what resources can be created and where. IAM policies, on the other hand, control the who, which user or service has permission to do something. So just remember, org policies for resources, IAM is for people. Okay, get ready for a classic exam scenario. You see a question that talks about centrally managing networking, maybe controlling firewall rules or subnets for a dozen different projects, all from one place. What's the very first thing that should pop into your head? The answer is shared VPC. This is one of those keyword associations you just have to burn into your memory. If the question says central networking for multiple projects, your brain should immediately yell shared VPC. It is the go-to GCP solution for this exact problem. This slide is pure gold for the exam. You will absolutely be tested on these deployment strategies. So if the scenario is all about zero downtime by running 2 identical environments, it's blue-green. If it's about a slow, gradual rollout to a small percentage of users to watch for errors, that's a canary release. And if you need to test a new feature with a very specific group of customers, that's A/B testing. You've got to know these cold. Great, your services are deployed. But now what? Well, now we move into monitoring and optimizing. This phase is all about keeping your applications healthy, performing well, and just plain alive once they're out in the wild. Okay, here's another common trap. A developer wants to get an alert every single time the word error appears in a specific log file. It sounds simple, but there's a specific 2-step process you have to know. You can't just set up an alert directly from cloud logging. So here's the crucial 2-step dance. First, you have to go into cloud logging and create what's called a log-based metric. That's basically a counter for your specific text. Then you go over to cloud monitoring and create an alert that watches that new metric. So remember, log-based metric first, then the alerting policy. This slide breaks down your main troubleshooting tools. Think of it like this. If the problem is slow response times or latency, your tool is CloudTrace. If it's a mysterious spike in CPU or memory, you need Cloud Profiler to hunt down that bad piece of code. And if you need to inspect the state of your code while it's live in production without stopping it, that's a job for Cloud Debugger. So let's move on to our final core topic. This isn't just about tools, it's a whole philosophy. Mastering the site reliability engineering, or SRE, mindset is absolutely critical. It's the thing that's going to guide you to the right answer on a lot of the exam's trickiest scenario questions. Everything in SRE starts with this golden chain. An SLI is what you measure, like request latency. An SLO
is your target for that measurement, like 99.9% availability. And the error budget? Well, that's simply the room you have for things to go wrong. It's your allowance for failure before you break your promise to your users.
Okay, here's a classic SRE dilemma for you. Your team is shipping new features, but you are burning through your entire monthly error budget in just the first week. The service is getting unstable. What do you do? And here is the core SRE principle. The correct answer is to slow down, or maybe even completely stop new feature releases, and dedicate your time to fixing the reliability problems. The error budget is the data that gives you permission to make that call. You never, ever just lower the SLO to make the numbers look better. You always defend the SLO. All right, we've covered the terrain and the core skills. So let's wrap up with a final briefing. Think of these as the golden rules that will help you dissect questions and choose the winning answer when it really counts. Keep these 3 principles in your mind. First, always default to immutable infrastructure. It's better to replace a VM than to patch it. Second, always default to automation. If there's a scripted solution, it's almost always better than a manual one. And third, always default to the principle of least privilege. Choose the most restrictive permission that still gets the job done. And this is the final thought I want to leave you with. Just memorizing product names is not enough. This exam tests your ability to think like a Google Cloud DevOps engineer. You need to understand why you would choose shared VPC, why an error budget drives decisions, and why immutability is a best practice. If you can grasp the why, you won't just pass this exam, you'll conquer it. Good luck.
We hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe for more Apex insights.